You sit alone. The room is quiet, but inside you, it isn't. There's a heaviness you can't explain. A weight you've been carrying for so long, you almost forgot what it feels like to breathe without it. Your heart remembers every mistake, every word you wish you could take back, every wound you never spoke about, and maybe you've learned to hide it. You smile when you have to, you laugh when people expect you to. But when the noise of the world fades away, when the night comes and it's just you feel it pressing down on your chest. This is the weight no one sees, the kind that makes you stare at the ceiling long after everyone else is asleep, the kind that makes you wonder if you'll ever feel whole again, and yet you keep walking. Because that's what life demands. You show up, you hold it together, you tell yourself you're fine. But deep down, a question lingers. How long can you carry this? How long before the cracks begin to show? Pause, softer tone. This is where our story begins, with a heart that is too full and a soul that is begging for release. The heart that holds too much. The truth is, no one sets out to carry this much. It happens slowly, almost invisibly. One memory at a time, one heartbreak, one betrayal, one disappointment that you never let go of. Your heart was soft once, open, trusting. But the world, it kept handing you pieces of pain, a careless word from someone you loved, a moment when you needed help and no one came, a dream that slipped through your fingers before you had a chance to hold it. So you kept them, every shard, every scar. You tucked them deep inside because you told yourself, this is how I stay strong. This is how I protect myself. But strength built from walls can become a prison, and little by little the heart grows heavy. Not just with sadness, but with anger, with regret, with the unspoken truth that you are not as okay as you pretend to be. Days turn into months, months into years, and you keep going, working, smiling, surviving, while your heart becomes an overfilled jar. Every new hurt is just another drop, and you wonder when it will spill over. Sometimes you feel it about to break. A small thing, a comment, a memory, a song, and suddenly the tears you've been holding back come rushing. But you wipe them away quickly, because there's work to do, people to take care of, a life to maintain. You tell yourself you don't have time to fall apart, and so you keep holding on. But holding on doesn't always mean healing. Sometimes it just means you've forgotten how to let go. Pause, softer, like a whisper. This is where the danger lies, not in one great tragedy, but in the slow, quiet filling of a heart that was never meant to carry this much. And deep down, a voice you've been ignoring begins to ask, what happens when I can't carry it anymore? When the past refuses to let go, and then it happens. Not in a dramatic movie way, no lightning, no earthquake, just a moment that cuts deeper than you expected. Maybe it's a phone call. The kind that stops you cold in the middle of an ordinary day. News you didn't want to hear. News that shakes the little stability you had left. Maybe it's a fight with someone you love. A small argument that turns into an explosion, and suddenly years of unsaid words come flooding out. Or maybe it's nothing at all. Just one of those mornings where you wake up, look in the mirror, and realize you don't recognize yourself anymore. You see tired eyes. A forced smile, a soul that feels empty and yet unbearably full at the same time. Whatever it is, it's the moment that makes the weight unbearable. You feel it in your chest first, that familiar heaviness, now sharper, almost painful. You try to shake it off, to keep going, but you can't. So you stop. And for the first time in a long time, you let yourself feel it. The memories rush in. Every failure, every heartbreak, every cruel word you ever heard, it's all here, all at once, and it feels like too much. Long pause, almost silent. Give space for the weight of this moment. You sit down. The world outside keeps moving, but yours has gone still. Your breath is shaky. Your hands tremble, and deep inside something whispers, I can't keep living like this. It's not just sadness you feel, it's exhaustion, a bone-deep weariness from years of carrying things that were never meant to stay. But in this moment of breaking, something else happens too. A tiny crack forms in the walls you've built, a space where maybe, just maybe, something new can enter. This section sets the stage for the mentor turning point in Section 4, where hope enters the story for the first time.
Stranger with empty hands. Know how long you sit there, time feels strange, minutes or hours, it doesn't matter, and then, you hear it. A voice. Maybe it's a friend who found you sitting alone, maybe it's a stranger passing by, offering a quiet kindness. Or maybe it's not a person at all, just that small voice inside you that refuses to give up, but you hear it, and it feels like the first time anyone has spoken to your soul in years. They don't try to fix you, they don't rush you, they just sit with you in the silence, and somehow, that silence feels safe. Finally, they speak, their words are simple, almost too simple. You're carrying too much. At first, you want to argue, because what else can you do? This weight has been part of you for so long, it feels like who you are, but the person, or that voice, doesn't push, they just offer a story. They tell you about a traveler who once tried to cross a desert. At first, the traveler carried everything, bags full of old memories, past mistakes, other people's expectations, but the farther they walked, the heavier it became. Until one day, they realized they would never make it unless they started letting go. One by one, they left things behind in the sand, and every time they did, they felt lighter, freer, closer to the place they were trying to reach. The story ends with this question: what would you leave behind, if you could? You don't answer right away, because you know the truth. You know there are things you've been holding that are breaking you, but letting go feels impossible. The mentor smiles, softly, knowingly, and says, you don't have to do it all at once, just empty your heart, one piece at a time, begin with one thing. One memory. One hurt, set it down, and see what happens. For the first time in a long time, you feel a shift inside, like the tiniest crack of light breaking through a dark room, and though you don't say it out loud, you think, maybe I can try. The battle within, you try, you really do. That night, you sit alone, you close your eyes, you remember the words, empty your heart, one piece at a time. And you reach for the first piece, the easiest one. A small hurt, a memory from years ago that still stings but no longer bleeds. You take a deep breath and imagine letting it go, and for a moment, you feel lighter. It's almost shocking, but then you reach for the next one. And that's when the battle begins, because some things don't want to leave, some wounds are too deep, some anger has been living inside you for so long it feels like home. You feel it rise up, the voice that says, no. You can't let this go. If you do, they win. If you do, it means what happened was okay. Your fists clench, your chest tightens, tears press against your eyes, but you hold them back. You get up, pace the room, sit back down, try again, but every memory feels like a fight, every release feels like a tiny death, and soon, the tears come anyway, hot, uncontrollable. You don't just cry, you break. It's not quiet. It's ugly, raw, full of years of pain you never allowed yourself to feel. You shout, you whisper. You fall silent, and through it all, one question keeps repeating: why did this happen to me? No answer comes, just more tears. Hours pass like this, the battle raging inside, but something strange happens near the end. You get tired, too tired to fight anymore, too tired to keep holding everything in, and in that exhaustion, you do the one thing you've been afraid to do all along. You let go, not perfectly, not all at once, but enough. You feel it leave you, like dropping a stone you've been clutching too tightly. And in the empty space it leaves behind, there is silence, but not the heavy kind you've known before. This silence feels different, peaceful, like the first deep breath after a storm. Long pause, let this moment land. You collapse back into the chair, tears still wet on your face, but your chest feels lighter, for the first time in years, and in that fragile, quiet moment, you realize, this was never about forgetting what happened. It was about freeing yourself from carrying it forever. The heart empties. When morning comes, the world looks different. Nothing outside has changed, the same walls, the same sky, but somehow everything feels new. You step outside and notice the air, cool, fresh, almost sweet. You take a deep breath and it doesn't catch in your chest this time. It fills you. The weight isn't all gone, not yet, but something has shifted. The heaviest stones are gone, and you can finally stand a little taller. You look around, colors seem brighter, the smallest sounds, a bird, a breeze, feel like gifts, and for a moment, you just stand there, doing nothing but breathing, because you can, because you want to. This is what freedom feels like, not loud, not dramatic, quiet, steady. Sure, you think back to the words you heard, empty your heart, one piece at a time. And for the first time, you believe it's possible, because you just did it, and you can do it again. A smile creeps onto your face. Not forced, not for anyone else, just yours. You're not the same person who sat in that room yesterday, crushed under years of pain. Something inside you has cracked open and light is pouring through. You don't know what comes next, but for once, that doesn't scare you. It excites you. Because you are lighter now, and when the heart is empty, there's finally space for joy, for peace, for love. Music swells gently, hopeful, signaling the close of the emotional arc. The freedom of an empty heart. This is the part of the story where I stop talking about them and start talking about you, because this isn't just their story. It's yours too. You've been carrying things no one else can see. You've smiled when it hurt. You've stayed strong when all you wanted was to fall apart. But you don't have to keep carrying it forever. Your heart was never meant to be a storage room for every wound, every regret, every disappointment life has ever handed you. It was meant to be a place where love could live, where joy could breathe, where hope could grow, and the only way to make space for those things again, is to set something down, not all at once, not perfectly, just one thing, forgive one person, release one memory, speak one truth you've been holding back, and then tomorrow, maybe another, and another, until the heaviness becomes lighter, until your chest no longer feels like a locked cage, but like an open window. You deserve that freedom, you deserve to feel the sun on your face. And no, you are not defined by what happened to you. Yes, it shaped you, yes, it hurt you, but it does not have to own you anymore. Empty your heart, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Pause, let the lines sink in. When you choose to let go, you are not losing anything, you are gaining yourself. Your turn to let go. Now it's your turn. Take a moment, right now, while you're still here, close your eyes, think of just one thing you've been carrying. Point one memory, one mistake, one name you haven't forgiven, and picture yourself setting it down. Maybe you place it on the ground and walk away, maybe you watch it float down a river, maybe you just breathe it out. Whatever way feels right, let yourself feel just a little lighter, just for today. And when you do, notice how your heart feels. Notice that you have more room now, for peace, for hope, for love. If this story touched something in you, if it reminded you that you are not alone, share it with someone else who might need it tonight. And if you want more moments like this, more reminders to breathe, to release, to heal, stay with us, subscribe, join this community, because this is a place where we learn together how to empty our hearts and fill them with something better. Music swells gently, then fades to a warm, lingering note.